Welcome back, my fellow ghouls and goblins. If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Salvador, Artificer here at Fortify Strength. And today, I'm going to talk to you about my absolute favorite task chair, the Capisco. I am so excited to talk about this chair with you. I feel like a bard in a brothel. We're going to be talking about how it can be used specifically for computer work and for gaming tasks, and how it can really help to avoid those aches and pains that we get from sitting all day. Make sure you watch till the end of the video where I give you my favorite ways to sit in the chair to keep that body moving. But wait, isn't there only one way to sit in a chair? If you think that way, you really need to keep watching till the end of the video. Ready? Let's get fortified. Now, before I get into my thoughts about the Capisco, I want to talk to you about two fundamental concepts of ergonomics that will help you understand why I truly love this chair. First, there is no such thing as one size fits all in ergonomics. You need to shape your workplace for the unique way that you work and for the unique way that you move. You've got to use the right tool for the job. I mean, sure, you can use a quarter to screw something in, but a screwdriver can help provide leverage to make the job more efficient. A good piece of ergonomic furniture is going to be exactly the same way. It should give you the support that you need to work the way that you feel comfortable working. If someone is telling you that a piece of hardware is something that you need without actually assessing you first, or without even asking about your specific situation, run. This person is just trying to sell you something. Second, your best posture is your next posture. Yeah. My training as a doctor of physical therapy and artificer has shown me that there isn't such a thing as perfect posture. Sitting, it can feel bad if you do it a lot. You start to feel it in your back, everywhere. So you decide to switch to a standing desk. But guess what? That can also be bad and hurt if you stay in that position the whole time. The key is switching up positions and being variable. This leads to the first reason that I really love the Capisco. It was designed to be an active chair. Its unique design motivates you to switch up your posture frequently, which, that's just great news for you. What that means, however, was that this chair wasn't actually designed for comfort. This is kind of important. Most people will equate something as ergonomic because it feels comfortable. But this is not necessarily the case. Think about it. A couch is comfortable. Okay, a lounge chair is comfortable, a lazy boy is comfortable, but why do we not use these things to game or do our work? You could easily fix up a lazy boy recliner with like a swivel desk so that you can lounge about while you're working or while you're gaming. So how come we don't do this? It's because at the end of the day, we've realized that while these seats can be comfortable, they end up causing us pain. The problem with comfort is that it contributes to you not moving, and that, my friends, that is a big issue. What the scribes at the Academy have found is that it is variable posture and movement that leads to the reduction of painful symptoms and chronic conditions. It's about not staying stuck in the same position for hours and for hours and for hours and for hours. It's about mixing it up with our postures and our positions so that we don't overwork or over-fatigue our muscles and our body. So after that long tangent, let's get into how the Capisco helps you to do exactly that. First, let's talk about design. The Capisco was designed by Peter Opsvik, who was inspired by watching horse riders in their saddle. This is reflected in the saddle seat design of the chair, which I will get into in a bit. The chair was also designed for continual and variable posture and movement, a so-called active chair. This was so that it would influence you to move and change position frequently. While at first glance, it may look like some sort of medieval torture device. Most torture devices are not this nice. Trust me on that. The Capisco comes in several different fabrics and colors, which, hey, they don't really affect the ergonomics, but the fact that you can get so many options is really great. I opted for leather version myself because I like the feel of leather against my skin. Please don't at me. I get enough of those. I personally like the design and would say it fits into most modern offices. I know that I get quite a lot of positive comments from adventurers who come and visit my lab. They're used to sitting on rocks and wooden benches, however, so I'd maybe take their comments with a grain of salt. Remember rule 1 for ergonomics: there is no one size fit all. Therefore, having a lot of adjustable settings is definitely key for any sort of chair or furniture. The head Capisco is extremely customizable and allows you to switch several things to fit your specific task and support requirements. The seat height can be adjusted to switch between sitting and standing. The seat depth can be switched from forward to backwards to allow you to have more or less support from the backrest, or to reduce pressure on the back of your knees. This also gives you more space for perching or for increasing back support when you need a bit of a rest. You can change up the backrest height like so in order to give our back the right support at the right area, as well as to support our arms at ideal angles for your work or for gaming. There's these great little ridges on the foot casters that allow you to place your feet on them for support. I also opted for this little rail because I like to sit up a bit higher. This gives you the option to increase or reduce what's called as your thigh-torso angle, which can affect your back after a long work or gaming session. The seat does recline for when you want to lounge back a bit, and you can lock or unlock the recline based on what you want to do. You can keep it locked if you want to sit reclined backwards, or you can keep it unlocked, which lets you rock in the chair, which is great for staying a bit more active, and also to practice riding dragons. You also have tilt resistance, which lets you change how subtle that tilt is when you lean back. I like to keep it loose so I can rock more ballistically, because that's how I get into my games. Once again, don't at me. This also comes into play when you sit backwards in the chair, like this, which I'm going to get to in a second. The chair also comes with an optional headrest, which is great if your neck is for whatever reason really loosey-goosey and you need some extra support to reduce your fatigue. Man, that's a lot of features. This is one big reason that I love the Capisco so much. It changes based on your unique preferences and your work style. You can find a decent configuration for most of the tasks you perform in a chair, and that is saying quite a lot. While there is no one-size-fits-all chair, this gets pretty dang close. However, there are a few downsides to this chair that I definitely would like to address. First is the price. This is not a cheap chair. The base model is about $800 and it can go up to over $1,000 once you add the fixings like headrest and footrail. However, this chair is so good at getting you to actually change positions as well as support you that I think it's worth every penny. I've also mentioned before that there aren't many chairs that actually support the forward sitting position like this and that me and millions of other people like to work in. And the fact is that this chair does this so well that's another reason why I still think this chair is worth the high sticker price. We spend so much on things that marginally improve our situations, like going with the more expensive graphic card because we want a minor 15% improvement in frame rate. We spend money on Overwatch skins that don't really do anything except for aesthetics, you know. We spend 1,500 gold on plate armor when you can just steal it and get it for free. We do all these things, but we neglect things that give us crazy benefits for our health and well-being. We cheap out on something that really can make a world of difference in how we work and how we play. I know that no one buys prevention and no one cares about pain until they have it, but honestly, maybe it's about time that we flip that script. Maybe it's time that we invest a bit in ourselves and how we work so that we can continue to enjoy our hobbies and perform our work pain-free for years to come. There are some people who complain about the saddle seat because it does require you to kind of keep your legs spread apart a little bit, which may be unbearable for some people. While this can be mitigated a bit by sitting in the chair sideways, the fact that you outright lose some configurations like that due to the saddle seat, that's definitely a negative. Another complaint about the chair is that it just isn't that comfortable. They say that they can't get their work done because they just can't relax or lounge in the chair. But once again, rule 2 of ergonomics, the best posture is the next posture. The chair wasn't designed to be comfortable. It was designed to get you to move. It gives you just as much support as you need for a specific task, but it also has a built-in way that reminds you that you need to move. It puts a little bit of fatigue in there, and that acts as a sort of cue to switch up your postures. After using this chair for 3 years, I've noticed that I switch an average of 3 or 4 times an hour. which, that's great. Rather than using some weird postural reminder device that looks like this weird robot cyberpunk thing that forces you into a specific posture, this lets your body be the judge, and it lets it be the reminder. This position not feeling comfortable? Hey, time to switch it up, buddy. Look, I know that it will take some time to get used to, and you will have some initial hesitancy if you switch to an active chair because it's not gonna feel like a lazy boy. Side note, I keep using lazy boy as a reference, but does anyone still buy these things? Or is it just grandmas? What about for gaming? Gaming for a lot of people is a time to relax and kick back. Should we be really thinking about active sitting for such a laid-back hobby? Now this is a trap that really gets people in a lot of trouble. Let's say you work in a desk job all day sitting. If you're working at a typical company, you probably don't have a great setup there. You come back home to game, and then you sit again, not in a great chair, maybe one more comfortable, but not designed in a way to keep you moving. So you're really just adding on and compounding to the stress you're already placing on your body at work. Look, I know that comfort is king for a lot of you, but please consider that comfort, just as in life, works against us in a lot of ways. It keeps us static. It keeps us not moving. And that is not how we are built, people. We are not built to wait or to sit still. We are built to fidget, to move, and to act. We are built to feel and listen to our bodies. Our bodies even warn us that we're not moving enough. Well, what is one of those warning signs? It's pain. It's back pain. It's wrist pain. It's neck, shoulder, and hip pain. Now, that sounds like a great song. You gotta write that down for a sea shanty or something. Now, pain is a result of not listening and checking in with our bodies. It's multifactorial, this is true, and can be affected by your stress levels, your diet, pathological conditions, but it is also affected by your physical activity or the lack thereof. Please, I urge you, control what you can. You want to avoid pain so you can continue enjoying your hobby, then you gotta keep moving. Now I know that was a lot. Take it all in. We have this magical button down here that lets you rewind time. Rewind time and watch parts over again. But once you're done with that, I wanted to share with you a few awesome sitting positions that I like to use with the head Capisco. Now, we all know the typical forward sitting position, and this is probably the most boring way to use this chair. However, it's a bit different because of the saddle seat, which allows you to keep your legs a bit apart, but allows you to tilt forward in your chair without falling out of it. Now this is fine and you can shift different settings to support you, but this chair really shines in the sheer number of different positions you can take while you're using it. Leaning back in the chair is still pretty great, especially if you can rest your feet on something solid like so. What I love is that you can unlock the recline function so that you can do some rocking motion, which is a great way to get some micro stretching even while working. I like to do some heel raises while rocking to help get the blood in my calves continuing to flow. Without movement, blood pools in your feet and lower extremities. Performing things like heel raises can activate the muscle pump that squeezes the blood back up your legs and towards your heart and out of your feet. Next is my favorite position in this chair, sitting in it backwards. This is great for forward sitting position, which I talk about in my latest review, reviewing the Herman Miller Aeron. If you are someone who likes to sit backwards in your chair, this is a great chair for you. Backrest is designed to give you some chest support for when you're in this forward leaning position, taking some of the strain off of your back. It also gives your arms some support, effectively shortening the lever arm and stress placed on your wrist and your shoulders. This is also really great to use with a foot ring because you can switch from back sitting while standing to back sitting while sitting. Next is the side sit position like this, which I like to use when conversing in a group setting because it lets you switch to a comfortable position that supports your shoulder and your arm, reducing the need to twist your neck from side to side. It's also actually strangely comfortable to sit in a chair like this, and I find myself drifting into this position quite frequently. Another fun way to sit in the chair is in the lotus position like this. This is actually really relaxing and it's a great choice for a quick mindfulness exercise. Don't think of a pink elephant, don't think of a... Finally, this is what I call the cannonball position. You can lower the backrest and place one or both of your legs up here like this so you can keep continuing typing just like this. While this does put a little pressure on the back of your knees, this position is so novel that it actually feels extremely comfortable to work in it. Keeps your movement variable, and for some sorts of back pain, this can actually be a relieving position because it keeps your hips extremely flexed. So that's about it. I know I went on a few tangents, but If you watch this video through a few times, I think you'll come to a better understanding about why active sitting is so beneficial for you and why the Hag Capisco is such a great chair to allow you to do that. It's designed to get you to move, and it's also designed aesthetically and functionally in the positions you require. With that said, there are some other cheap active chairs out there like the Hag Capisco Pulse, which is the cheaper version of this chair, the Aerial, and these things, whatever they're called. I do plan to eventually test and review these, totally depending though on if I can procure some of them to test out. This is me talking to you chair companies. Send me a tester and I will give you a professional opinion on it. These other active chairs can be a lot cheaper and may still be a good option for most people. If you have doubts or questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below or to message us. We love to help in any way that we can. If you like this video and you want to learn more about how to live a more heroic life through movement and through knowledge, like this video and subscribe to our channel for more reviews like this, as well as tons of educational info that will demystify health and make fitness an adventure. We'd also love to see you in our Discord, where we're not only answering your pressing questions, but we also hang out, we play video games and D&D, and we exercise together. The link is down below. That's it for today. And remember to always fortify strength.